Allison here, also known as Lasan Faye, and today I am here with a brand new Zen Doodle with me video. That's right, I'm back in the month of October in order to continue doing the Zen Art Challenge over here on YouTube. And I want to thank all of y'all so much for watching and for allowing me to take a break in the month of September while I was traveling so much. So, without any further ado, I say let's go ahead and get started on these tangles. The first tangle I have for you all today is called Plum Lay, and it is by Dawn Collins. So the way you get started with Plum Lay is you just want to make a parenthesis shape, a right facing parenthesis or left facing. I never know which one is which. And you want to make about 5 of those, all starting from the same point. All right, and then once those are in place, the next thing you want to do is you want to make a deeper curve that follows the shapes that you just put in. And finally, you want to do another parenthesis, this time facing a different way, but it's still the same kind of arch. You just want it to go wide and connect to the next set. And that is pretty much the basic shape of Plum Lay. You can also choose to color in and embellish however you wish. So for example, I'm just going to color in the little midpoints here. That is it for Plum Lay. And again, if you look off in the example on the right, you can see plenty of different ways that you could choose to fill this in. But I'm going to go ahead, leave this one here. I like the fact that it was nice and straightforward. A good way for me to get back to this. So let's go ahead and move on to the next tangle. The second tangle I have for you all today is called Moon Zen. And it is by Ina Sonnenmoser, and we've seen some of her tangles before. And the way you're going to approach this one is you're going to make a diagonal across your space. And then on that diagonal, on the upper side, you're kind of going to do a little bit of an I shape that goes about, halfway across. And then you're going to attach 2 more curves that come up and over, but will stop at the edge of whatever area you're working with. And from there, you're going to draw on a little bit of a double up. So from the last 2 curves we drew, if you start at where they meet the end, you're just going to draw another one that goes along to the left of it if your curves are facing left, right otherwise. And you don't want to go all the way back on the first one, but doing what you can is really helpful. And I mean, you could go all the way back. It depends upon how you want to experiment. And then you want to repeat this process on the other side. Then there are 2 options for filling in. I'm going to choose the one that takes up a little bit less ink. And you can choose to either fill in the space that isn't encompassed by these, I'm going to call them spines, or you can choose to color in the spines, like I am. That is all you need to do for Moon Zen. Again, like I said, you could flip where you leave the blank space and where you color in. But I chose to do it this way to save me a little bit of time and some ink. But I really like how cool that this looks, and I hope you do as well. But I'm going to leave this one here and go ahead and move on to the next tangle. The third tangle I have for you all today is called Starfish Flower, and it's by Nicole Dreyer. And the way that you're going to get started with this one is you're going to start by making a curved X. So all that means is that it hooks up a little bit. And then you want to do another curve that's parenthetical in shape that runs down the middle. And from here on one side of each of the lines you just drew. So for example, with this line, I'm going to go up, have it curve out from the very end, in towards the center, but on that same side, but down below, I'm also going to repeat that, have it curve up and come in towards the center. And similarly over here. All right, and from here, what you want to do is you want to follow those curves by going a little bit further down, coming up and hooking over and in until you fill the space that you have. And I'm just going to repeat that over here. With this one, it's getting tucked back behind the other petals. As a final touch of embellishment, we're just going to come and curve down on the inside of our initial starting points. And within that little curved down section, we're just going to make a little bold area that sits there and kind of represents the, I don't know, petal color or something. But yeah, so that's the idea behind doing the Starfish Flower. I do think this one comes out really, really pretty. And it's one I'm going to want to experiment with a bit more. Maybe make a slightly larger flower in the future. Just so that I can experiment with how these folded petals go. But for now, I'm going to leave this tangle here and move on to the next one. The fourth tangle I have for you all today is called Curly, and it's by Sandra. And the way that this tangle works is it's a chain tangle. I do believe I've done this tangle before, and in fact I've done it in a different video on this channel, but I'm going to go ahead and redo it here. So the way you get started with Pearly is you start by drawing a circle, and then on either side of it you draw a slightly smaller circle and an even smaller circle on the end of that. Then you go a little bit away and you repeat this idea, and note that the orientation that the line of pearls ends up in does not have to be the same on all of them. But once you have as many as you want, you can connect them using a little line. And that is really the essence of Pearly. And again, you can add as many as you wish, as few as you wish. Since I've done this one before, on this channel even, I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. And if I can find the video that I've done it in before, I'll go ahead and also link that down below. But I'm going to leave this one here and move on. The fifth tangle I have for you all is called Rings, and it is by Alice Hinden and was originally published in Tangle It Journal. And the way that you get started with rings is you start by drawing a circle. Then underneath the circle, we can draw some little plate shapes, like how you might have drawn a plate that had something sitting on it when you were younger. And we're just going to make a couple of those that go downward. And then once we hit a certain point, we can also make them smaller. And for a bit of embellishment, I'm going to use a slightly smaller nib. We can add in some shadows on one side, just to add a bit of dimension to it. And as a final measure of embellishment, I'm just going to color in this little centerpiece on the top circle. And voila, that is Rings. This is a fun little piece. To me, it looks like almost like a Dr. Seuss version of the Eye of Mordor. I don't know, that may just be me. But that's what it makes me think of. Anyways, with that entertaining note, I'm going to leave this tangle here and move on to the next one. The sixth tangle I have for y'all today is called Kensington, and it's by Inoska Vardenberg. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And the way that you want to approach this one, this is a tiling one, but I'm only going to do one iteration of it. And the way you start is you start by making a spiral, a nice loose spiral that goes in a circle, and after a couple layers, joins up with itself. Then outside the circle, we're just going to do 3 little petals that come off, and we can also double up those petals. And to round out the whole look, between any of the two petals we have, we can just do a little circular arch that connects them. And so the way you would tile with this one is you just start by drawing one, draw another one near it, might layer under it, might not layer with it at all. And just add as many as you want. One is all I want for the sake of this video, but I think this is really fun. It's really quick and would make a great background. So I highly encourage play with this. But I'm going to go ahead, leave this one here, and move on to the final tangle. The seventh and final tangle I have for y'all today is called LG by Adele Bruno. And the way you get started with this one is you start by drawing a tiny little heart. And then you do an aura of the heart as many times as you wish. And you can even add other hearts into the image in order to layer them together. And you can just fill up the space by layering a bunch of these together. And the tangle that Adele suggests that this looks like is the hollow bow tangle, which I've also done on this channel, I believe. Or at the very least, it's a common tangle that if you go and search for it, it should come up very, very quickly. But yeah, this is a fun, cute little tangle. Might be fun to decorate your Valentine's cards with. But this is where I'm going to leave it and wrap up. Alright, so that is it for this week's tangles. I'm super, super jazzed to be back here and filming these videos again. I miss doing this. And I will go back to a Sunday release date. I just had a few more things happen this past Sunday than I anticipated, and so that's why this one's a day late. Oops. But I'm really excited to be back here and doing this, and I hope you all want to continue this journey with me. Anyways, I will see you all next Sunday, and in the meantime, in between time, take care and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye!